is Dr. Andy Gordon. I'm a professor of forest ecology and agroforestry at the University of Guelph. I've been there for many years, since 1984. My research interests are half in agroforestry, half in forest ecology. So in Canada, our agroforestry systems are 6. Our most famous one is forest farming. And so I give you the example of maple syrup production from the sugar bushes of Quebec. But there are other examples of forest farming like ginseng and shiitake mushrooms. We also have windbreak systems, intercropping systems in southern Ontario, silvopastoral systems that we are trying in different parts of the world, integrated riparian management systems, and more recently bioenergy systems. These are all different aspects of agroforestry that we are investigating. In terms of the traditional ones, there are some agroforestry systems that have been practiced by indigenous peoples for thousands of years. So for example, they would grow pumpkins in between apple trees until the apple trees got big enough to produce apples. So forest farming is our most traditional aspect of agroforestry. Maple syrup production, shiitake mushrooms, ginseng. There's a multitude of non-forest timber products that can be taken from the woodlots that do not impact on the woodlot and that do not impact on the quality of the woodlot. Yes, more recently we have developed in concert with some very important partners willow and poplar bioenergy systems, where we grow the poplar and the willow on very short rotations for about 3 years, harvest them, turn them into pellets, and then use them in pellet stoves. And we think we have a winning formula in terms of biofuel production, a tree species that will improve the land but will also produce an energy product. The legislation right now is nothing. In Ontario, we have just announced cap and trade system, so all sectors of the Ontario economy will be forced to look at how much carbon they produce, how much carbon they sequester. The farming community, I would say, is in trouble. It needs to look at different innovative practices like agroforestry to help it sequester carbon, to offset its use of fossil fuels to drive tractors and things like that. You cannot be carbon neutral if you are a farmer with a big diesel tractor driving down the field spewing out diesel. You can be carbon neutral if you have a tree in your system. If your tree is in a windbreak, if your tree is in an intercrop, if your tree is in a riparian system, that tree is sequestering carbon. More importantly, the tree is putting carbon into the soil, and that will help to offset those CO2 emissions that the farmer is using.